All right, everyone, welcome back into another props video. Touching on the top props today in this Monday Night Football matchup between the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. Let's go ahead and get into it. So starting out with the slate preview here, we got the Bills versus the Jets, obviously. So it is about a 45.4 over and under. So not the highest, but not also a game that we need to be staying away from. And then we do see a 2-point difference. So nothing really there. Let's just pull up the injury news, see if we have any significant injuries. We do need to worry about Breece Hall. If he's going to be inactive, that could open up some value for us. Obviously, Dalvin Cook would get a big bump if he is out. And then from there isn't that much for the Jets. And then once we look at the Bills side of the football, also not much. So that's good. That's going to make it a little bit easier to predict. And let's just go ahead and stick with the odds jam optimizer. Some of the best props on the board today are going to be Allen Lazard on their board. Is going to be Allen Lazard for over 3 receptions at 57.47%. Then we're going to see Garrett Wilson for under 6 receptions, and also Diggs for under 6 receptions. Guys, yesterday we saw that the unders were the way to go, which is what I mentioned in yesterday's video. I was like, all the best bets that we were getting are going to be under bets, which makes this game really not fun or really a game that I want to personally attack. That's not exactly the case today, but all in all, I would say we're more favoring the unders. Now, we don't expect 2 defensive touchdowns to really throw off the game. And that's kind of crazy. That's been the Thursday night football game and the Sunday night football game where we've had defensive touchdowns really change the dynamic of the game. And these 2 defenses are pretty good as well. So it won't be too shocking to see that happen, but we know that's a rare occasion. And so real quickly, let's go ahead and take a peek at this. I find this line for Deontay Hardy to be extremely interesting. Deontay Hardy, about a 54.79% chance for him to get over 1.5 receptions. He is projected to get 2. Very interesting prop there. If we are looking for an overbet, that's probably going to be the one we roll with. Now, I find that very interesting. I didn't see him as someone that's going to get a lot of playing time, but he is someone that they like. And just from like a DFS standpoint, I was kind of wondering if it'd be like Sherfield or Shakur a little bit. No, it's seeming like Deontay Hardy is going to be the one that could get some receptions. And then the next best one in terms of an over is going to be Dalton Kincaid for over 2.5 receptions. We can see across the board that is pretty much the projection, maybe not a big edge there. And then from there, this is an interesting one as well. James Cook for over receiving yards. The sportsbooks have it set at 15.1. The projection has it set at about 13. And then both PrizePicks and Underdog have it set at 14.5. I'm not exactly sure. We need to chase that. So we can see we are not getting that many good props. And so just looking at fantasy score ones as well, mostly just looking at these the quarterback props because we have the full allotment of props coming in for them. We will see Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers are basically pushes, especially based off of what the sportsbooks are seeing there. So not a big edge there. And then what I want to do is I want to look at the difference between projections and what PrizePicks is giving us. Maybe a slight edge to Garrett Wilson, maybe a slight edge to Damian Harris. Obviously, if he's going to be the goal line back, someone you could potentially look at, but none of those are big edges. So once again, let's just go ahead and go through this. I do find the 2 tight end props to be kind of interesting. And then we also have Dawson Knox, who is going to operate mostly as their actual tight end, it would seem like. Guys, Dawson Knox, if it wasn't for a lot of mental mistakes or just terrible hands, he would be one of the top tight ends in the league. Unfortunately for him, he does have those mistakes. Now, last year, we need to remember he did have the unfortunate news of his brother. And I don't know if that distracted him at all, but it last year. If that continues again, even with Dalton Kincaid in there, most likely operating out of the slot, it seems like we don't know. Like, right, this is week 1. A lot of people, I'll just bring up the Green Bay Packers as an example. A lot of people were not giving the Green Bay Packers a lot of respect, and especially Jordan Love, where, yes, if you watched the preseason, you would have saw, all right, Jordan Love's, that's a bad example. Let's see, the Los Angeles Rams, that's a much better example. I kind of touched on this in some of the videos. It's like a lot of people did not give the Los Angeles Rams a chance to really win, even in week 1 against the Seattle Seahawks. Turns out that was wrong. Like, the expectations for the Rams were wrong. You know, even talking about Puka and Kyren Williams, still a little bit of a shock. Like, we don't know what is going to happen for sure. A lot of people are going to say Dawson Knox is going to be phased out. I don't know if that's actually true. We have seen Dawson Knox be a decent part in this offense. And honestly, all this takes is like 1 short yardage touchdown for him to hit there. I'm not saying we go ham with that, but it wouldn't be surprising to see him get that. And then I do find this line for James Cook to be, I don't know, is it high or not? I've been someone that was hyping up James Cook a bunch. I got him in a bunch of best balls before his ADP really rose because I thought, you know, one of the best offenses in the league, most likely a 3-down back. Like I would say him scoring a touchdown would be a better bet on one of the sports books, but that's essentially what you're betting here is literally a 1 yard rushing touchdown or 2 yard rushing touchdown. If it's 1 yard, Josh Allen's going to get it. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into my favorite bets for this game. I will be giving a couple under bets because that's just what the slate's dictating. I didn't want to do it yesterday because I wanted to, I don't know, I hate under bets. They're not as fun to me. I much rather be chasing the over rather than be watching the whole game for the under to hit, being on the kind of just waiting and watching side of it. And just real quickly before we get into that, I do want to touch on just some other bets that we have out there. Aaron Judge and Corey Seager for hitting fantasy score props. Those are two really good ones on the day. I feel pretty good about those. And then we do have maybe a potential stacking opportunity, Marcus Simeon as well. Not terrible, but not preferred. Then we go ahead and take a peek at the discrepancies. Not much there as well. And while they took away the receiving prop when I was recording this for Deontay Hardy, that's the tough part about doing this, guys. Wow. Probably their best over bet just got taken away. That's annoying. And for what it's worth, just kind of game theory wise, if Breece Hall is active, I would say that this under, where Dalvin Cook is only projected to get 11 rushing attempts, for him to have 12.5, I would say Breece Hall would need to be active for him to get that over. So if Breece Hall is inactive, that just makes that bet a stronger bet. So here's what the bet of the day would look like. And guys, just for what it's worth, I know this is an NFL video, but literally the best props that we are getting, I feel like Aaron Rodgers is really going to put an emphasis on getting Garrett Wilson the football. So this one I'm kind of worried about. So like if you didn't want to include that one, I would perfectly understand that. Diggs, I'm fine with the less than receptions. He does get a more difficult matchup, I would say. With the Jets defense, then Wilson does the other way. And then Allen Lazard for over 3 receptions. I would say these two don't exactly. I mean, these two bets right here correlate. But kind of my thoughts is that Aaron Rodgers is going to force feed the ball to Garrett Wilson. So thus, I don't know. But that's why I'm including this, because these correlate together. And so that's kind of the slip. And for what it's worth, I want to call this out because like the exact same situation yesterday where, yes, it was super exciting. We had week 1 NFL football back, but guys, we had 3 freaking awesome hitting fantasy score props yesterday that I just hammered because they're just more predictable. They typically hit more frequently, about 2 out of 3 times they hit. So I'm not saying that they're going to hit today, but I'm just saying those are good opportunities each and every day, especially on a day in which we have one game and we don't have that many good props. But that's going to be all for today's video. Just a reminder, guys, if you guys want access to that OddsJam Sportsbook tab that I've been showing you guys throughout these videos, you can. The link to that's going to be in the description below. Use the promo code 925 to get 25% off of that. Also, guys, make sure to give a like and subscribe to the channel. That does help out me be able to continue to pump out more content for you guys. If you guys want access to any of my tools, link to that's in the description below. Just available for $10 a month. All right, that's all I have for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the coverage. If you did, make sure to give a like and subscribe.